Hey everybody, so I'm just going to give you a quick video message to share some of my thoughts on a new tool that I'm going to add to our Google Classroom and what's available for us to utilize in teaching lessons and putting activities on there. I'm sure you've already heard about it, but it's called Seesaw. A lot of New Hanover County is using it. You might be asking, well, why are they using it and we didn't choose that? But the bottom line that I wanted to share is that Google Classroom stands out as the most convenient, full-featured learning management platform. That's why we've chosen Google Classroom, for that reason. And that bottom line doesn't change, but it doesn't mean that we can't augment using some of these other awesome programs. I've always asked that before you start adding things in and doing other programs that you consider first if it could be connected to Google Classroom, because in this case, Seesaw connected right to Google Classroom. Our roster's uploaded like no problem at all, and so therefore our students will now be able to log in using that password, the same password I should say, that they would use for Google. So it makes it so very simple. So what is Seesaw? Seesaw is really just another way for you to create student engagement of reflecting and sharing and collaborating and just some deeper thinking that's involved there. And so I really like that. I also think that, like I said, Seesaw is not going to and will not and should not replace anything happening in Google Classroom. It still needs to continue in that capacity. But what Seesaw can do is kind of advance the purpose and intention of our Google platform. And our Google platform is set up, like you've heard me say, each of the topics, those are shelves. And on those shelves, we need to be putting work. And so where we get this work, either we're creating it ourselves or we're finding other people who've created really amazing things. And Seesaw allows you to have creative assignments and inspiration and ideas kind of right there in front of you. In addition to that, kids can use built-in creativity tools, kind of like the videos and the photos and drawings, much easier than they could in the Google environment. So it kind of just takes a couple of the steps out for submission, I think, and makes the process of creative tools a little more seamless. And then also for assignments, again, this is going to give us assignments that can differentiate to the digital learner. So remember, in our classrooms, we give things visually, we say it auditory, and they still don't know what to do. So really on the Google Classroom, we're giving much of what we're doing very visual. They have to read it. And that's a barrier for some students. So what I love about Seesaw is that assignments can come with the option to add voice instructions. So we're reaching all the different types of digital learners. So these are just a couple of the reasons that someone's in my office hours. These are just a couple of reasons that I wanted to check in and let you know why we would be choosing this program. And in the upcoming videos, I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, so you heard me say that we are adding Seesaw to Google Classroom, and so you might be wondering, how are we doing that? And you also might have heard me say that the two of them can kind of connect and communicate. So I wanted to go over that first. How do Google Classroom and Seesaw connect? The first thing I want you to know is you as a teacher do not need to do anything. So I have already made the connections and will be inviting you to join in. So please know that you do not need to sign up for anything or start anything. Just wait for the invite in your inbox from me. So here's how they talk. Currently right now I'm logged into the lower elementary online classroom here as myself on the teacher side. And I have an assignment in here that's due tomorrow titled Spread Kindness. I just added this in from Seesaw, but here's what it looks like on the Google Classroom side. So you see the assignment is called Spread Kindness. Again, take note, please, of how I give the directions. So click the link below to get the Spread Kindness work off the shelf. And then complete this work and click Mark as done in your Google Classroom assignment. So this student has already done this work and turned it in. The link is actually here where the student can be sent to sign in to Seesaw. And of course, it's logging me in because I'm already on this page, but that's exactly how the student would get to it. Very simple. Would be to just simply click this and sign into Seesaw, and they would use their Google account like anything else. So how did this assignment get into Google Classroom? Well, I did it the same way that I would do anything. Here I am logged into Seesaw. and I'm going to go to my lower elementary class in Seesaw, and I can see the assignment here that I created as Montessori school. And then I can see the student response. This was really not Louie, you can tell, but I can see the student response here. So anytime you get an assignment and you set it up in here, there is a link that you'll use to share the assignment here. So this was the work. Actually, let's go to here. Here's the work we have. We can go to share item. And this link right here is exactly what I posted in my assignment in Google Classroom. So that's how the two are connected. And what makes it, when I say connected, it just means that because they're uploaded in here using their Google accounts, that the invite to Seesaw from here makes it easier for them to log in straight from Google. So that's kind of how those two are talking. So in the next video, I'm going to show you all the way through how to use Seesaw, just in general, what's available on it, and then we'll make an assignment together, and that'll be it. Hey folks, welcome to the Seesaw homepage. This is actually what the homepage looks like. This is where you'll always land as a teacher once you log in. Over here in the margin, if you belong to more than one class, that's where they would be, but you are not going to belong to more than one class, so it won't be a big deal. I'm just going to take you on a quick tour of what this homepage has to offer. When you first get to the homepage of Seesaw, it starts off with a journal. The journal, think of it as a portfolio, so this is the file of everything that's been completed work. You can look in your class journal. This is everything that's been turned in, or you can look in an individual student's journal. So I've been practicing with Mr. Louie's account, so I can look in all the works that he's turned in just for himself. So think of your journal as a portfolio or a grade book where you can kind of go to check student work. Notice that when I connected our Google Classroom and Seesaw, it uploaded all of our students. So these are all of our lower elementary students here. Yes, when you go to make an assignment, you can choose who you'd like the assignment to go to and who you wouldn't. The activities tab here is where you will find ones that you have assigned already. So this one is, these are two that I've assigned to Louie already. Ones that I have scheduled to go out but maybe haven't yet, and then ones that I've archived. So anytime you have an assignment and you're all finished with it, you can archive the activity and it'll go off of your home screen. So once everybody's turned it in, it's probably a good idea. So it clears you out. An inbox, again, your students can communicate through here and can look at student announcements, but remember, Seesaw is not replacing Google Classroom. Seesaw is going to augment. So let's leave all conversation and announcements to the stream of our Google Classroom and for our students in chat, and keep this kind of portion to ourselves for right now. We don't want to give our students so many platforms that it makes it confusing. And Google is the strongest one for all across learning management, and that's what we want to use. However, what I like on here most are the works. This is why I'm adding it to your Google Classroom, remember? So when you want to assign an activity, you can just go to click add. Right now you can click browse activities. You can see every subject matter is in here that you could possibly imagine. You can search subjects and you can search grades. I think it's pretty fantastic. The options are endless, and like I said, you'll find inspiration in this because what I just absolutely find fascinating is all the creativity and love that goes into the work that's put in here. So why reinvent the wheel if we don't have to? So that's my take a little bit on what's available here, and it's also a little tour of what is on your main screen. And the next one that you'll get from me is going to be how to add an assignment and connect it to Google Classroom. All right, so I think you guys are going to love this. This is going to be a quick segment on how to create an assignment or an activity for your class. So first things first, we're going to add an assignment. So just clicking add, we can post student work if we have student work that's been turned in, or we can assign an activity. So So we're going to assign an activity for our students to do. It's going to take you directly to your library, things that maybe you've saved if you're interested in those things, but you can always click on Community, and Community will take you to all subject matters. So we might do a math work, and maybe we'll do one, this is fun, a family interview on how we use math. That was looking like a cool one. It seems like a really interesting assignment here. There, I got it finally. So how do you use math? This is a family interview. When we talk about some of these things, like on Google Classroom, if our students were to do this, we'd have to put a lot of add-ons and things in so our kids could follow through with this assignment. But this one actually is pretty cool because it's going to be built in, and you'll see why I love this platform to create works. One of the things that I also mentioned outside of the inspiration and just cool works is that it applies to multiple learners, so I can write the instructions and then I can hear them.
Math is everywhere. Have fun this week interviewing a family member and asking how they use math every day. Number 1, tap the add button. Number 2, ask a family member.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can see how beautifully laid out that is for children and also for families. So again, you can put the why in there. Why is that important, and why is this a work that we're asking you to do with your children? And I think that the key here is, again, we talk about communication with our families and helping them connect, because this is a tough time for them. So I really liked this family why that you have the option of putting in. So I really love this. I'm going to go ahead and add it to my library, and I'm going to go ahead and assign it. So you'll only have the classes that you have been invited to co-teach. You won't have all these options, but we'll go to the lower elementary classroom. I'm going to uncheck all the students because for right now, I'm just going to be assigning it to one student because I'm going to log in as them and see their work. So we're going to go in and use Louis here. He's had a lot of assignments today from Seesaw. So Louis is going to get this assignment, and I'm going to assign it. You saw I had the option to schedule it as well, but I'm going to go ahead and assign it. And now this activity is going to show up in my classroom for me to see. So here it is. This is our classroom here. Here's our assignments and our instructions. From here, you can always edit the activity. So if you needed to take this person's work and make it a little more of your own, you're more than welcome to. Like this first sentence, math language and understanding helps children explain and understand the world around them. I would probably throw in some cute little Dr. Montessori quote because this is what's going to make it our assignment. So you can edit these to make them whatever you want. And you can add in photos, you can add in templates just like you would anywhere else. Once you've done that, go ahead and click save. But I always encourage you to make someone else's assignment your own. Don't ever just assume that what they've made is going to work for you. Make it your own, please. It's going to help with students connecting to what you're asking them to do. So we can practice on this one too. What I love is, we can practice on this one. For this piece of work, we're going to add a response. And because we're doing an interview, we can choose to do a video. We can choose to do an upload that we've done separately. So you can do it. But what I love, like I said, the tools are here for students to use. So we can allow their video camera to videotape us. And I can see my instructions again still. So if I'm still not sure what to do, I can go in there and then I can videotape myself. So it's going to tell me I'm starting. How do you use math at home? And parents can respond. And how do you use math at home? Parents can respond, all the good stuff through the cameras. And then just click done. And a student can choose to caption it. tell us more about it. So it's captioned. Here's how I use math. And it's finished. Okay, so there's my example right there of me answering it. So you can do an example for your students, which I love, because then it allows them to know what you want the end product to be as well, what your vision of the end is. Once you've done an example for your students, you can then take the share item here. So there's a share item. Copy that link. Go back into your classroom on Google. Create an assignment. Call it what you want it. Math interview. Write your instructions. 1, click the link below. 2, listen to the instructions in Seesaw. And then 3, mark as done in Google Class. Okay? Then we can add the link here to our assignment. And you'll see right here, there's where we have our assignment. I'm not going to give it to every student. I only assigned it in this classroom to 1 student. So I need to make sure I do the same thing in here. And we'll make a due date for tomorrow. This is important because this is, again, where kids are coming every day to check for their work. I'm not going to give it a topic because I just want it to come to the top. And I'm going to click Assign. So now the math interview shows up as an assignment for students. They can click on the link and it'll take them right to their work. So in the next video, I'm going to show you from the children's side how they sign into Google Classroom and see this work and carry it out. Okay, so now I am not logged in as myself. I'm not logged in as Miss Eleanor. I'm logged in as Mr. Louie. And so we're going to take a look at the assignment that we just posted for a math interview. We're going to take a peek at that through his Google Classroom to see what it happens to Louie and how he navigates the work. So here we are in our lower elementary classroom for Louie. That's where we put our newest assignment. So we have our classwork here. I can see here is the math interview. It posted just like an assignment I would anticipate. What Louie's going to do is click on the Seesaw. Okay, so when he clicks on that link, it's going to bring him to the assignment here, my example, and then sign into Seesaw. I'm hoping when I click this link, it signs Louie in and not me, but sometimes if you have multiple accounts open, it will try and log in as the wrong person. So if a kid does this, it should go right to, see, it went right to somebody else I was signed in as. I'm just going to go ahead and sign her out. But it should, as soon as the student pulls this up and goes sign into Seesaw, should just prompt them to use their Google Class. So they'll say, I'm a student. And you're going to sign in, your student sign in with your Google. This is why we have it connected to our classroom, so they don't have to do but that much to get in. So now Louie is into his classroom. You see he has a notification here. I wonder why. Because I just gave him an assignment. So when he comes in, he sees automatically where his activities are and is able to work on those activities. Here is the assignment for Louie. Again, Louie can listen to the directions.
Math is everywhere. Have fun.
And Louie can add a response. So this is where Louie would do his work. So he's seen my example, he's read and listened to the instructions, and now he can make his own video on here's how I use my math, and him and his mom can sit in the camera, they can all have a chat about who uses math, the interview's over with, he's done with his interview, and he can say done, and he can caption it, and talk to the hand. And check. His assignment is ready. And he has submitted it. So this is what Louie has done on his side. And he's still, remember in the Google Classroom where we put number 3, listen to Seesaw, so we do our work, mark is done in Google Class. So he still needs to go into this assignment and mark it as done, and then this is how the teacher will know that this piece of work is finished. In the final video, I'm going to show you what his assignment turned in looks like from our end, so you can take a peek at that. Alrighty, so in this final piece, I'm just going to show you, we've created the assignment in Seesaw, Louis, and put it into Google Classroom. Louis found it in Google Classroom, completed it through Seesaw, and marked it done in Google Classroom. And now I'm back on my home screen in Seesaw, so I can see his work. So as soon as I logged into Seesaw, down here automatically there's a post that I need to review. This is Louis' submission of his work. And so I can listen to his work. Can sit in the camera. They can all have a chat about who uses math. The interview's over with. And if I like what he did, I can hit approve. If I don't like it, I can send it back. So there's a lot I can choose to do. So I have approved his assignment. This assignment now for Louis is in his journal and in our class journal. So you can see these are all the ones I've practiced with today. So this is what would show up on the Seesaw side of it. Notice there's not really, I can send it back, but my feedback loop kind of falls flat there. So again, that's why I've had the student make sure that they marked math interview as turned in, because I can then go, of course, nothing is going to be assigned to this. There's no video attached, but I can go into my Seesaw, see the work of Louis, come into here and say, Louis did a great job. I love it. Okay. And so just like if you weren't happy with this, you could hit return and say, I need you to redo your work, please. And they would just log back into Seesaw and do it again. So this is kind of how the two will connect in the feedback and loop on each side of here. So that is a quick overview. I'm going to encourage you guys to really play with it a lot this week and next week. Find assignments that you like and choose to do those works. Practice as much as you can, and then we'll make sure we get it all cleared out for our students after spring break. I think this is a beautiful platform to add to what they're already doing. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Alrighty guys, in this quick segment, I'm going to just show you very quickly what your invite will look like and how you can join into Seesaw. So I'm going to go ahead and click here on the invite. This is going to come from me. I'm going to go ahead and add you in as educators. So I'm inviting you to join a class with me. So I need you to click join class. And you are going to be in there as a teacher, but we don't need to sign up because we're going to use our teacher sign up with Google. So we're going to do teacher sign up with Google. Choose your account name, and I'm grateful to Eleanor for letting me try this. And it says that we've invited you to become a teacher in lower elementary. Would you like to accept? And you click yes. Great, now you're a teacher there. Go to our new class and we're in. So you're gonna see all the things that are shared in lower elementary. And that's how you will get the invitation and join Seesaw connected to Google Classroom. So this is my final little note about Seesaw. You've kind of walked through all the different things you can do with it, and you're going to start navigating it. But I'm going to reiterate again, the strongest platform we have for learning to cover all the areas that we need is in the Google Classroom. This is what we have initiated with our students, and this is what is familiar. From this point forward, we will be adding things in to augment it to make it better. So though you might have some at-home features that you think would be awesome to use in Seesaw, leave the chatting, leave the grading, and leave all of that piece to Google Classroom and use simply Seesaw to do your works and make things look more friendly for students, because I thought these works look way better than something that I might spend 14 hours doing on Google Slides. So again, this is not a new platform that students will be checking into daily. This is only a platform that students will access to use works that you put into the Google Classroom. So enjoy using it. I hope it saves people some immense amount of time and inspires you guys to think about some new works.